Well, a racist is a judgment, a person who believes or is in a position of power and, or not in a position of power, but believes themselves to be superior to another person merely on the basis of that person's race alone. And this superiority complex, I would call it, makes them treat that person of the other race as less than human oftentimes, as less than equal to them, and believes in many instances as it relates to black and whites that that person has less intelligence, is less hardworking, is less capable than the superior person is.
Thank you. And Charles?
Or the racist.
I would agree. I would agree wholeheartely. I would only add. Now, you didn't do that when we were having lunch. Why you trying to beat up on me? Hey, see the disrespect. This is disrespect. Oh, it's okay. That's okay. That's okay, Janelle. Look, I just want to say I do agree. I would add that racism is not dead in this country. But I think this. I think that more people are aware of. I think race is less of a factor. I would be the last one to say racism is dead, given as much hassle as I get from cops in this community and other folks. So, in the circles that I run in. But I would say to you that there's less of it today. I think people are looking at us as everyone being an American. We got more important issues than race to worry about, and that's the economy and illegal immigration and a whole bunch of other things. So race is moved way on down the line as far as I'm concerned.
Thanks, Charles. And Monroe? In terms of, would you address your comments on racism, racism's definition against the concept of a post-racial
Well, yeah,
America?
you know, what's really good, let me start off positively, okay? And what's really good is that racism is no more fashionable in this country.
Yeah.
I mean, even the racists claim they aren't racist now. and that's a good thing, because there once was a time when they were racist and proud of it. Now, that being done, race is still a problem. It's embedded in, it's institutionalized. It's embedded in this country's culture, its thought processes, everything. The younger generation, fortunately, is trending away from it. But when I was young and protesting and demonstrating back in the 60s, the thought was that it had changed then, that generation. But they grew up to be yuppies, and they would move into the city, and then as soon as they had children, they moved out to the suburbs so they could be raised in a proper environment. With the president, Obama, the reason, first of all, he's lucky. I'm not religious, but if I were religious, I would swear that he cut a deal with the devil, because he has been the luckiest politician ever. It has nothing to do with his race. Things just fell into place for him with different candidates. And of course, and he's very brilliant, very personable, and likable, and all that stuff. I mean, he had the skills, but he got a bunch of lucky breaks. The stars have just lined up for him, lined up for him, lined up for him. After he'd been beaten by Bobby Rush, I ran into him at a restaurant not long after that. And we sit down, and he tells me he's running for Senate. And I looked at him and I said, the Senate? I said, the U.S. Senate? Yeah. I said, that's too big a leap. And he says, no, it's all the same. And within 2 or 3 years, of course, he had proven me wrong. And so when he announced that he was running for president, I was reluctant to tell him you're nuts, because he'd already made me a liar once, and I didn't want to hear him. He made me who I was. Okay, but in his running up against the Clintons, a little racism came out in North Carolina with Bill, where he referred to Obama as Jesse Jackson trying to do a double slam on putting people down. But because Obama has a very unusual history, being a mixed breed, as Paul Green once told me, he says that Clinton should have knocked Obama off at the very beginning instead of patronizing him, because by the time they realized he was a threat, it was too late. And he said, and then Bill and Hillary didn't know which Obama they had to deal with on any given day, the black one or the white one. So they didn't have a strategy for him. But the racism has been prevalent. The teabaggers are a racist, and I call them teabaggers, because that's what they called themselves until they found out what the meaning was. And then they tried to change it, but I like to stick with the original name. I mean, no sense in coming up with a new Coke or something like that. The original was okay with me. But anyway, the teabaggers who started complaining when he got to office about taxes, and the fact of the matter is taxes have not been lower, federal taxes have not been this low since Eisenhower era. So now, what is it that's so magical about, under his administration, taxes going down? I mean, you can go through, yeah, sure, okay.